This world is so fake. And I'm sorry, I didn't do my signature. It's your boy JP clocking in, but I'm sorry, bro. I'm tired of this shit. This world is so fucking fake. It makes my fucking head want to explode, bro. You know, I feel as though, bro, Shakespeare said the world's a stage and we're merely actors. And, he's absolutely right, man. When you go down the list, go down the line, it's like everything is so fake, bro. Like, the friendships are fake, the relationships are fake, the marriages is fake, the love is fake, the morality is fake. Everything is fake. Everything is under a condition. Everything is under a, you know, under a condition that this is met for us to do this. If this is not met, we're not gonna do that. If that's not met, we're not gonna do this. Exactly. It's like it's just so fake, man. It's like most people get up every day, you know, put on a mask, leave the house, go to work, and they have to pretend, they have to fake it, they have to fake smile, they have to deal with their coworkers, deal with their bosses, and they have to put on this avatar, put on this, facade, just so they won't just so they won't rub anybody the wrong way, just so they won't, make people uncomfortable. And if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to put on the avatar, if if you want to be foolish enough to, bring your real face to your job, you're gonna be seen as, wow, what's his problem? Why is he not talking? Why is he, that way? Why is he being rude? It's like it's so fake, man. It's like people get mad when you don't want to be fake. They get mad when you don't want to be fake. And then when you are fake with them, they love you for the moment, and then they discard you anyway when they're tired of you. And it's like, it's so fucking stupid, bro. It is so stupid. Like, and I'm going to go to the friendships, bro. The friendships are as fake as the fucking relationships, bro. The friendships are fake too, bro. The friendships is under a condition that you're perceived this way so you can make me look good in front of other people, because everyone's going to know that we're friends together and they perceive you this way, and I can benefit off the perception that you have that makes both of us look good. If you don't meet this perception, if you don't have this aesthetic, if you don't have this perception amongst people, if you're perceived as a loser amongst people, I'm not going to want to be your friend. you know and that's just what it is, man. Friendship is all about appearance and perception, bro. you know it's not even about it's not even about familiarity. It's not even about having the similar interests anymore. It's not even about that. You can meet somebody that has similar interests to you, meaning that you guys would be perfect friends, but because they don't meet this aesthetic, because they don't have this perception amongst people, you're not going to even want to be that guy's friend, even though you guys have similar interests. Even though you guys are basically a carbon copy of each other, you guys have similar interests. You guys like the same things. You guys dress the same way. You know, you guys gravitate towards the same type of entertainment content, but you're not going to be that guy's friend because you know what? He's perceived as a weirdo, as a lame. You're gonna go be friends with the motherfucker you have nothing fucking in common with because he meets a certain perception. He has a certain perception amongst people. He has a certain aesthetic. Maybe he's a good looking guy, that, you guys can get women together or whatever the fuck the case may be. Maybe he drives a car. Maybe he has money. Maybe, he has a good reputation. So you want to be friends with that guy. But if he lost all that tomorrow, if he lost his, appearance, if he lost his money, if he lost his appeal, you slowly drift away from that guy. So friendship, is an illusion, bro. It's an illusion, bro. It's so fake, bro. It is so fucking fake, man. Friendship is so fake, man. We always talk about how relationships and marriages are fake, but nobody ever talks about how fake friendship really is, bro. And then this world, This world, feeds us nothing but fake shit all day, bro. Fake entertainment, it's all fake. It's all predetermined. It's all rigged. Nothing's real. Everything has a script. Fake entertainment, fake food, fake love, fake numbers on the screen that they make us think is real, but it's not. Money, the economy, credit, and all that. That shit ain't fucking real. That's pulled out of thin air by people and put on a fucking screen to brainwash you into thinking something's there that's not, bro. They have you enslaved to a concept, bro, that they made up and that we all had to abide by because they decided that, this is what's going to be our God. Money's going to be our God, and it's all fake, bro. It's all fake, bro. And it's like, bro, it's like the faker you are, the more people love you. It's crazy, bro. It's like the realer you are, the more people disrespect, bully, denigrate, and trivialize whatever you say and what you do. But the person who aligns with the bullshit algorithm, the person who has the Balenciaga shoes, the Balenciaga bag, the name brand shoes that talk about nothing but fucking, things going on social media, that's the person they love. But the person who's real, who don't have an NPC personality, that's not a fucking incel, that has his own vibe, that has his own aura, that has his own, identity, that's the person that gets hated. That's the person that gets bullied. That's the person that gets disrespected. And it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy when you think about it, bro. That's why I always tell people, trying to be that real guy will get you nowhere in this world, bro. If you want to go far, you have to be fake to a degree. You just have to be. Being real 100% to every single person you meet is a fruitless quest, bro. It's futile, bro. People don't like real shit, bro. Real shit reminds them that, what type of person they are. They like the fake shit. They like the duplicitous shit. I witnessed this shit in school, man. It was always the fake people in school that was loved and praised and, was adored, bro. But the real person that had a personality, that had a backbone, that actually had a level, that actually had a spirit, bro, those people were destroyed, bro. Those people were fucking destroyed, man. And let's be real, man. It's all fake, bro. Everything's under a condition, bro. It's all fake. There's nothing in this world that's not under a condition. There's nothing. Nothing that's not under a condition, bro. Everything has a price, bro. Even the cost of living, bro. Even the cost of living has a price, bro. And anything connected to us by default has a price as well. Our emotions have a price, bro. Our sympathy has a price. Our decency has a price. Our love has a price. Our affection has a price. Our morality damn sure has a price. Our outrage has a price. Everything has a price, man. Everything has a condition under it. So never take anything you see from people too seriously, you guys, because it all has a condition. It all has a price. Under the right circumstances, this person wouldn't be mad. This person wouldn't be happy. This person wouldn't be in love with that person. This person wouldn't be friends with that person. This person wouldn't be nice to that person if it wasn't for that. This person wouldn't be loyal to that person if it wasn't for this. Everything has a price, man. Everything. And it's just so fake, and it's just like, after a while, bro, you're just over this shit. You don't take none of this shit seriously, bro. You just go out, you just wake up, go out into society, and just pass the time, pass by people, and just not even say anything because it's all bullshit. Looks is everything. Let's be honest. If you're born ugly, it's basically over for you, bro. If you're born ugly, it's basically over, bro. You're gonna get the worst sides from people. You're gonna get the worst sides from people, and you're gonna be the epicenter of disrespect in social environments, bro. You're gonna be the target of disrespect in social gatherings, bro. Like, You're gonna be a target, bro. You just have to. That's why ugly people stay to themselves, bro, because they already know if they have a big friend group, they're gonna be the target. They're gonna be the target of disrespect. You know, they're gonna be the target of a lot of things. If you're ugly in this world, it's basically over. You're not gonna get anything, bro. You're not gonna get anything. You know, you're gonna see the world for what it is. You're gonna see the horrible sides of people. But if you're born pretty, hey, bro, you're gonna think the world's a great place. You're gonna think that people are awesome and people are giving, are loving, are benevolent. You're gonna think the best of people because you have a beautiful, stimulating flesh suit. That people look at you and want to do things for you. You know, you're gonna think the world's an amazing place if you're born pretty. But it's all bullshit. It's all fake, man. You lose your looks, man, it's over. You don't get that attention no more. And it's all fake, bro. It's all fake, man. You think the person that you're in love with right now really loves you, man? Bro, I guarantee you, bro. Watch how life, makes people, show you who they really are, bro. You think that person you're friends with would be friends with you if it wasn't for something that you possessed? No, sirree. It is like, bro, everything around you is so manufactured to make you think that, this is happening because of the grace of God or you're special or something like that. Everybody thinks that, bro. But in reality, it's just a price, bro. You know, it's just a price, bro. People think, oh, I got this house because, it was luck, it was by God. No, you got this house because you had the money. You were first to the desk. You were first to request for this house, and that's what it was. People think that they're friends with this person because it was fate, it was destiny, it was God that made me meet with this person, and we were destined to be friends. We were destined to be this. We were destined to be that. And it's no, bro. You met an aesthetic that that your friend liked. You had a decent enough personality that they could relate to, and you guys became friends. But it's not destiny. It's not fate. It's just an uncontrollable set of circumstances that made you meet with this person, and each one of you had conditions that were met for you guys to become friends. That's it. That's it. You know, Same with love, man. Same with love. People think that love is the same thing. Like they were destined to meet this person, and it was fate, and it was true love, and it was a epic love story. But no, man, it's not none of that shit. You guys had a set of conditions that were met by one another, and you guys also had a personality that you can kind of relate to, and boom, boom, boom. You guys are a couple now. You guys are in love because your conditions were met with each other. She looked good. He looked good. He has money. She's feminine enough, and boom, boom, boom. Conditions are met. Terms and conditions are met. Sign off on it, and boom, you guys are a couple. But it's all fake. If either one of you declines in quality, if either one of you, declines in those terms and conditions, like let's just say, she gets fat. She gains 100 pounds, and boom, 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 those conditions are not met anymore. And then what happened? The guy cheats on her, and vice versa. Let's just say the terms and conditions are broken when the guy fucking loses all his money. The guy loses all his money. The terms and conditions is a breach of contract now. He loses all his money. Losing all your money is the breach of contract. And she says, you know what? My terms and conditions has been broken. I'm going to leave him. And boom, she leaves you. So it's all fake, man. It's all fake. It's all in the condition, bro. It's all under a condition. Nothing's real, bro. Nothing's real. And this world is just, it's just all fake, man. It's just, you get tired of it, bro. It gets heavy on you, bro. And I especially hate it when, people give celebrities a pass for doing these horrible things, but want to judge normal people out in the real world. Like, I find it funny that, normal people want other normal people to be perfect. They want them to never do anything wrong, you know. They want them never ever to do anything wrong. But for these celebrities, they'll give them pass after pass after pass after pass. These celebrities do horrible things. They're horrible people, and they'll still support these people, still defend these people, still be, fanatics for these people. But the second that a person in their world does something, another normal person just like them does something wrong, they want to crucify them. They want to villainize them. They want to make them seem like they're awful people, you know. But they give these celebrities a pass because they're rich, famous, gotta have a talent that resonates with them, that hypnotizes them, you know. And it's all fake, bro. It's fake. They give Beyonce, Chris Brown, and all these people a pass, but you do something wrong, oh boy, bro, they have a speech prepared for you. They have a speech prepared for you, man. Yeah, man. Fuck this world, bro. Fuck this fake virtual new world, bro. I miss the old world, man. I miss who we were before technology took off. But leave a comment down below, subscribe, share. It's your boy JP, and I'm clocking out.